What is going on, bro? Says, yeah, it's working and everything. Speaking slow now. What is going on, bro? Says, it's working and everything. Yeah, we are definitely not going to be doing it that way. Hold up. Okay, so since it works right now, hold on. Since it's like technically working, I'm the way it's working right now is I'm testing the audio in Streamlabs, and that's the way it's going through my headset, so that's why you guys can hear it. But for some reason, my mic is not getting picked up, so give me a second while I figure this out. There's no way that's how this is gonna work. There's no way that's how this is gonna work. Brother, what the fuck? What is that, dude? Why do I have to add that into my sources and it's just not working straight through my mixer? Okay, so I'm assuming here, hold on, let's go back into YouTube here. I gotta get this bowl off my desk. I just finished eating dinner, so let's read something so that we can test audio really quick. Let me go to my YouTube first, though. Hold on. Let's go back into YouTube here. I gotta get this bowl off my desk. I just finished eating dinner, so. All right, so yeah, we have a good delay, which is really good as well. But I'm gonna take this off really quick. I'm gonna put this in my ear so you guys don't have to hear it. But what am I supposed to like read? March Madness, 3-round mock draft, all teams. We're on mock draft database here, so I know that this intro is being a little bit long here, but I'm really just trying to get everything set up, so bear with me. Now you can't. Okay, so I mean, it's working. And it sounds pretty good. I don't think I have to turn it up. Let's get down to business. Okay. Really quick disclaimer. You know what? Actually, I'm pretty sure we can just hop on over to YouTube real fast. We can click on this, pause it because we don't want any overlap. Go over here. All right, let's look at this really quick. We got some lives. We streamed 4 months ago for 3 hours. And you guys can see, obviously, in here, I've done pretty much strictly gaming streams. Now, I am going to leave these gaming streams up, or maybe I won't. I don't know. I think, honestly, I don't even remember half of this stuff, except for, of course, our most recent ones. So I have been wanting to do this for a while. I have been wanting to make this channel about sports media and analysis, and of course we've just pressed go live and just been gaming and not really doing anything other than that. But now, of course, it's actually funny because I'm on a different YouTube account here. I have a different viewing YouTube account. It's right here. But yeah, I think. Oh shoot! Hold on. Let me just go back because I already forgot what the name of the NFL mock draft. Okay, so disregard the ads. We're on mock draft database here, and we're going to do a 3-round NFL mock draft. I believe free agency is over. Well, I guess technically it's not over, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure free agency is just open all the time. But most of the major free agent signings, trading, I believe, is also over or is not. It's just not happening as much. Basically, there's really nothing else for these teams to do up until the draft. So now it's a pretty good time. And if we actually go... Actually, I should log in here. But we're not even going to bother with that. I did a mock draft before free agency. And there are definitely some things that can change. And there's also some things that definitely won't change. But we're only doing 3 rounds because we're doing all 32 teams. Mainly, I'm doing this because I want to do a Cleveland Browns mock draft. Because we are a Cleveland, I am a Cleveland Browns fan. I'm a Cleveland sports fan. And basically what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to make this channel about Cleveland, of course. The Guardians, the Browns mainly. Haven't really watched the NBA in a very long time. And, of course, Ohio State football as well. Right now, we are in kind of this like perfect median where college football has not been happening for a while. The NFL draft is coming up. Baseball's in spring training. NBA has been going for a while, but like I said, I haven't really been watching that. And of course, we're in March Madness as well, but Ohio State just unfortunately lost to TCU. Watching that game was fairly brutal. But I digress. Let's get into this mock draft here. The reason I'm doing 32 teams is to make it as realistic as possible because sometimes when you simulate on these websites, it'll have Ty Simpson getting picked at the 12th overall or like 13th overall pick, whoever's even picking there. I don't know. Let's actually enter the draft room. 13 was the Rams. Well, that's definitely not happening anyway, but you know what I mean. Like sometimes the draft picks are very, very random and unrealistic. And the reason we're doing 3 rounds is because there's 32 teams. It's 100 picks. So let's get into it. I think that we can just breeze past this one. We don't even really need to talk about it that much. But already we get into a spot where we need to really start thinking about it. Because a lot of people, they make their mock drafts about, team need, positional needs, talent. I feel like one thing that is almost always overlooked is what do you think the GM is going to do? What do you think the GM is going to draft? What do you think the Jets and Giants GM is going to do? Because if I'm being completely honest with you, for a while, a lot of people thought that the Giants were going to take receiver. I never understood that. I thought that was so stupid. I was like, what are you talking about? Why would you take a wide receiver? But then I was like, you know what? I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? That actually makes sense considering the GM is a fucking idiot. So, honestly, that is actually kind of realistic. Obviously, I'm not going to pick wide receiver here, and I think that the, post-combine, the prediction for where the Giants are going to go is definitely different. But we're on the Jets pick, and the Jets are one of those teams that could really use anything. Obviously, Garrett Wilson is wide receiver 1. Could use wide receiver 2, but you're definitely not going to use the second overall pick on that. Breece Hall is still here. You have your franchise cornerstones at left and right tackle. You definitely need a quarterback, but you're not going to use that second overall pick to get quarterback. And you have a lot of draft picks. I think they have 3 first-round draft picks. They got another pick at 16 and another pick at 33. So, of course, the first pick in the second round. They could get Ty Simpson at 33. Well, we'll see how it goes, obviously. But right here, I really just think it's about taking the best player available when you need every single position. Of course, like we said, they have Breece Hall, so they're not going to go after a guy like Jeremiah Love. They have franchise cornerstones at tackle, so Francis Mauigoa is not, probably not going to get picked. David Bailey and Ruben Bain could definitely get picked. Of course, they do need edge. Like I was saying, wide receiver is very likely not to get picked here. It's definitely a pretty good draft class here, but, Arvell Reese is available, right? This is going to be the pick. He is such a versatile linebacker. He is a good edge threat. He can stop the run. He's a very good QB spy, which is becoming pretty valuable in the NFL today, considering the number of mobile quarterbacks. Arvell Reese is he's just the best player available, and I think he's the best player to pick for the Jets, and I think that's exactly where they're going to go. Arizona is another one of those teams that, now that Kyler Murray is gone, pretty much every single position. I think that Arizona I think Arizona is the only team that could really draft any position, literally any position. They could go David Bailey. They could go Jeremiah Love. They could go Francis Mauigoa. They could go Ruben Bain. They could go Sonny Styles. Literally anywhere now that they don't have Kyler Murray. The Titans are different. They could go anywhere as well, except for quarterback, of course, because Cam Ward's their guy. They're going to keep seeing how he is. But Arizona is one of those teams that could literally go anywhere. And I think that a lot of people believe that, Francis Mauigoa is the pick here, and I'm absolutely on board with that. I'm absolutely on board with Francis Mauigoa being the pick for Arizona, getting a guy on the offensive line to pair with Paris Johnson, which actually I'm an idiot. I totally forgot about Paris Johnson. But of course, there's 5 people on the offensive line, so they could still go offensive line. And of course, Francis Mauigoa is going to be on the opposite side. So everything should be good to go with Francis Mauigoa. I think it's a good pick for the Cardinals' future to build up the offensive line. That way, once you do get a really good quarterback, he's very well protected. Tennessee is a team that, like I said, they could go anywhere but quarterback. They could go running back with Jeremiah Love. They could go wide receiver with Carnell Tate. They could go linebacker, safety, edge. Obviously, I would say the main pick is going to be edge rusher. The reason I think that is if you want to build, if you're trying to build a roster for the future, right? Getting a dominant edge rusher is key, because you see defenses all the time falter or fail because they do not have a good pass rush. Teams like the Browns have a really good pass rush, and not exactly the most amazing secondary in the league, but definitely a good one. But it's made, the secondary's job is made a lot easier when there's pressure on the quarterback. Going with a guy like Sonny Styles, I don't think is really going to change anything with defensive output. And even probably the same with Caleb Downs being, the play style that he has. So getting a guy like David Bailey and Ruben Bain should definitely be the pick here for Tennessee. I know a lot of people think that they're going to go Jeremiah Love. Obviously bringing in a guy as talented as Jeremiah Love is not a bad idea at all. It's really hard to kind of are they going to go offense? Are they going to go defense? Because Jeremiah Love brings in a lot of talent, and also you don't have to pressure Cam Ward as much, right? He's got a very talented back behind him who can relieve a little bit of pressure. But how good is that even going to be if your offensive line is one of the worst in the NFL? Like, are you going to draft running back and then build the offensive line later in the draft? Or do you want to maybe bring in some good defensive pieces? And honestly, I don't even think Jeremiah Love is the best player available. I think Ruben Bain is the best player available. And the fact that David Bailey has been rated above him on so many people's draft boards is genuinely so insane to me. Ruben Bain, I believe Ruben Bain is the number one player in this entire draft class. Obviously, like the Jets could go with an edge rusher. They could snag up David Bailey or Ruben Bain. But I think Arvell Reese, not only is he a good edge threat, he's not like elite, all right? I don't think he's as good of an edge threat as Ruben Bain or David Bailey, all right? But he is still good, and he has other value added to his position, being like a really good QB spy, really good IQ with pass coverage and everything. So it just adds a whole nother level to his game, which is why I think that he's going to be taken before these guys. But Ruben Bain is genuinely a monster, and pairing an edge rusher with Jeffrey Simmons is definitely going to be a very smart play. Definitely smarter than just bringing in a running back and you don't even really have. I mean, I know Jeremiah Love and Tony Pollard have been working out, but Tony Pollard, are we being serious right now? Let's be real. Jeffrey Simmons is a monster. He is a very, very good defensive lineman, and honestly, I don't really think he's going to get Hall of Fame, unfortunately, because he is really good, but he's definitely a better mentor option, I would say. And also, I just think Ruben Bain is more talented than Jeremiah Love, if I'm being honest. I'm going Ruben Bain. If I own the Titans, if I was the general manager of the Titans, I'm picking Ruben Bain because I think he is the best player in this entire draft class. He's so good. He has such an amazing combination of speed and power. Like David Bailey, he is so fast. He's so fast off the edge. But I feel like against bigger guys, stronger guys, he's going to get worked a little bit. But Ruben Bain, he has so much size, and he's got the speed to combo with the strength. Obviously, I don't think he's as fast as David Bailey, but he is still so much better. He is consistent, so much more consistent. I'm going Ruben Bain every single time. I'm going Ruben Bain. If I didn't have Myles Garrett on my team, if I didn't have Myles Garrett in Cleveland, then I'd be like, shoot, screw receiver. Let's go Ruben Bain. New York here picks at 5, and they could. I think that there's definitely the team is actually like kind of, they're set up for success for sure. I think the Giants are kind of like a dark horse almost. You got Jackson Dart coming back. He's looking really good. Cam Skattebo going to come back. He's an absolute monster. Hopefully he's not, significantly I don't know why I'm brain farting so hard on this word right now, but hopefully he comes back and he is still the same Cam Skattebo that left. Absolute beast that just wants to run through everybody. You got receivers. I mean, Malik Nabers is going to come back too, and he is an absolute stud. I thought that the Giants were going to keep Wan'Dale Robinson. So here at the 5th pick, a wide receiver is really not like a horrible option, but there's absolutely some better players and also way more things that you need. I think that the offensive line could use work. It's suggesting Sonny Styles right here. I think that is honestly a pretty good pick. I might end up going with Sonny Styles here. Obviously, the edge, the pass rush in New York is really good. I don't think that has to be beefed up any more than it already is. The secondary is so bad. It needs work. Caleb Downs is here. Mansour Delane is here. I believe it is Mansour, by the way. Please, I apologize if I am not saying that name correctly, but linebacker is definitely also a position that they struggled at. It was like QB spy and general coverage over the middle. Sonny Styles is very fast. I liked a lot what I saw from Sonny Styles at the Combine, and that's the reason that he's, suggested here. He's gotten bumped all the way up to 7th projected, which is crazy, but honestly, he might be the pick here. And you got to remember, New York Giants GM is an idiot, okay? You got to remember that. He does not know what he's doing, okay? Obviously, very recently, it seems like he knows what he's doing. So maybe Sonny Styles is a good pick here. I think Sonny Styles can probably do a little bit more for that defensive unit than Caleb Downs could. I think he can also do more than Mansour Delane, the corner out of LSU. He's just one of the most complete defensive players in this draft, and it's a shame that he's probably going to get picked outside the top 10 because of team need. Now, Kansas City actually could go with him, but we'll wait until we get there. I think I'm going to go Sonny Styles here for this pick. I think Sonny Styles is the pick here for them. He is very well-rounded at the linebacker position. He played opposite of Arvell Reese. Very similar set of skills on this guy for Arvell Reese, and honestly, that's going to bring so much value to New York. I'm going to go Sonny Styles. And Cleveland at 6. There has been some changes in what people think the Browns should go with. People think that they should pick offensive tackle first at the 6th overall pick. Unlike these people, I'm not stupid. I'm picking Carnell Tate. I'm just immediately going to do it. I'm not even going to think twice about it. I'm picking Carnell Tate. He's the best wide receiver in this draft class by a fairly large margin. 6'2". He's got an insane, I'm brain farting once again. It's an insane route tree. He's a pretty good route runner. I like his route running. He's not absolutely insane, right? I mean, I don't even think he's the best that we've seen come out of a draft, but he's still amazing, right? And he can go into the league with the skill that he has and be dominant, especially because he's going to essentially immediately be wide receiver 1. I know that in Cleveland, you got Jerry Jeudy, who, by the way, I don't think is good in any sense, but Cleveland is going to try to work on his game, and I don't think that Carnell Tate is going to come in and be the wide receiver 1 immediately. Can he be? Yeah, absolutely. He's better than Jerry Jeudy by a large margin, but it's the fact that Jerry Jeudy's been in the league for long enough that he kind of, he can't get that spot taken away by a rookie. But the draft pick is Carnell Tate. I'm not even going to think about it. You can get an offensive tackle with your second pick at 24, and even at 39? Maybe at 39. I don't know. But especially at 24. In fact, I think once we get down the board here, I'm pretty sure Caleb Lamu, I believe that's how you say it, Lamu, or Lomu, is going to be available at that 24th overall pick. We'll see once we get there. But yeah, you're taking wide receiver. You did so much in free agency to beef up the offensive line a little bit that there's no way that you're just going to draft someone. You're going with a receiver. That wide receiver room is dog shit. It's the only reason that the offense could not do anything. Well, not the only reason. Obviously, you had rookie quarterbacks. You had the worst offensive line in the NFL. You had the worst wide receiver core in the offensive. You had the worst wide receiver core in the NFL. Not by large margins, of course, because you have to compete with offensive lines like the Chargers and wide receiver cores like the Titans. But yeah, it's just not. We're moving on. It's not a discussion. Washington, they need edge. Yeah, I mean, it says it's suggested, and if David Bailey is available at the 7th pick, it's definitely where I'm going. Washington could get very lucky and land David Bailey. Of course, we talked about how a lot of people think that David Bailey is, better than Ruben Bain, a little bit behind Arvell Reese. So, New York, even Arizona, Tennessee, definitely not the Giants and definitely not Cleveland, but he could definitely fall in this spot. But let's just say Tennessee picks David Bailey, then Washington would get Ruben Bain. So like I just don't really think that it's like if David Bailey or Ruben Bain or Alvaro Reese is available, I don't think that they're gonna be, but if they're available, it's gonna be the pick. Like that's just gonna be the pick. New Orleans. New Orleans, man. New Orleans has an electric offense going on towards the end of the season there with Tyler Show or Tyler Shuck. I don't even know how to say Shough. I say Show because that's just because it's like dough. But I've actually listened to some YouTubers say Shuck, but I'm just gonna say Show because honestly, Tyler Show. I think that honestly kind of sounds cooler as well. But New Orleans definitely not going QB. They are going to want to see what Tyler Show is made of. You got Chris Olave. You actually have a pretty decent offensive line there. It could use a little bit of work. I think at the 8th overall pick, going with a guy like Monroe Freeling or Spencer Fano is not a horrible idea. I'm pretty sure both of those guys are left tackles, though. Those guys are definitely left tackles. I know because Caleb Lomu is a right tackle, and Spencer Fano is a or left tackle. Wait, are those flipped? I think those are flipped. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. Why am I not able to think this? Spencer. Okay, I can't type either. Fano position. I know Monroe Freeling is left tackle. While playing right tackle and previously left tackle in college. Okay, so he can do both. Okay, well, I don't even know why I was thinking about that. With Kelvin Banks, I think that, and the overall performance of the offensive line last season, I think that's honestly, you can probably steer away from picking offensive line here, especially when Jeremiah Love is still available. I know he could go earlier than 8, but think about this. Tyler Show, Chris Olave, decent offensive line, right? Not horrible, but pretty good. And then you have a backfield of Alvin Kamara and Jeremiah Love. That's just perfect, man. I don't think that there's any other world. Like, that's a perfect world for Jeremiah Love. Because Miami's not going to draft him. Dallas could, but they're not going to pick offense at 12th overall. LA is likely not going to. Baltimore, I mean, if Baltimore's dumb, they could pair Derrick Henry and Jeremiah Love, which would be insane. But also, Derrick Henry is still an elite running back. So, like, why would you draft one of the most talented players in the draft class just to have him sit and not really do much? Of course, you can get a lot done with a double backfield. Tampa Bay with Bucky Irving, New York with Breece Hall, the Lions, Gibbs, and Jeremiah Love would be ridiculous. But from a purely like objective standpoint, I just think New Orleans and Kansas City are like the only teams that would be interested in drafting a running back. Like, of course, we already went over these guys right here. Minnesota could go. They could definitely go running back, but I just highly doubt Jeremiah Love's going to be available at 18. Carolina definitely could, and that honestly wouldn't even be a bad pick, of course, if Jeremiah Love is available. Dallas is second, first rounder. Pittsburgh is definitely not. LA is probably not either with Omari Hampton. Philly definitely not. Cleveland definitely not. Chicago, but we're already at the 25th pick. Like, New Orleans and Kansas City are the two prime teams to land Jeremiah Love. And Kansas City just got Kenneth Walker. So I feel like they're a little bit more. They just got Kenneth Walker, but then traded Trent McDuffie. So I thought that they were just going to, like, not do anything and draft Jeremiah Love or even a wide receiver like Mekhi Lemon, which for some reason it says is suggested for New Orleans, which would not be bad. Chris Olave is pretty much the only guy to pass to on that offense. You don't really have a solidified tight end. The rest of the wide receiver room is not great. in a very similar world of the Titans with drafting a running back to relieve pressure off your young quarterback, I think you're in a much better position if you're the New Orleans Saints to do something like that because the Titans have nothing, right? Like, I think Tony Pollard might be the oldest player on the offense. Like, the wide receiver room is far worse than New Orleans, of course, because Chris Olave carries the load. The offensive line is far worse because Kelvin Banks carries the load on the Saints, obviously, and they had a really good performance at the tail end of the season. New Orleans did, the offensive line. This is a tough pick only because Jeremiah Love is available and he could absolutely go here. They do kind of need a lot on defense, but then wide receiver is beefing up that wide receiver room for your young quarterback is definitely not a bad idea. We're 30 minutes into this stream, and I haven't even graced the 10th overall pick. I'm going to go Jeremiah Love. I think it's a perfect world where Tyler Show has a little bit of relief in the backfield with a pairing of Alvin Kamara, who is an amazing vet, who can be an amazing mentor to Jeremiah Love. And, of course, Jeremiah Love is just amazing, right? I'm going to go Jeremiah Love to the Saints. Kansas City. Previously, I thought Jeremiah Love could go here. And then I thought, like, if Jeremiah Love is taken by the Saints, they'd probably go wide receiver. Then they traded Trent McDuffie, and it made this a very easy pick. What are you doing trading Trent McDuffie? I understand you got a very good haul for him, but he's one of the best cornerbacks in the entire league. If you want to win, you need at least a good secondary, right? Like, they need to be decent. They can't just be garbage. And Trent McDuffie was like an entire side of the field is knocked out on the defense, or I guess for the offense because Trent McDuffie's over there. He was so good. He was elite. And then you traded him. So at the 9th overall pick, with Caleb Downs available, with the next best edge rusher is Keldrick Falk, you're probably not going to go there with Mansour Delane available. So, yeah, I'm just going to pick corner. Like, you made it really easy by trading Trent McDuffie. Obviously, do I think Kansas City's going to do this? I think they actually would. You know, you traded Trent McDuffie. You got a running back, right? I feel like it's an obvious pick here. Like, but who knows? I don't know what the hell Kansas City's doing. They definitely tripped me out by trading Trent McDuffie, but you just made the draft pick a lot easier. Cincinnati is also a very easy one. Caleb Downs, available at 10th overall. Yeah, he's going to get picked, especially when they definitely need kind of every position on defense. Of course, Trey Hendrickson is gone. A lot of guys in there are not like, definitely not like irreplaceable. And then, of course, the offensive line definitely needs a little bit of beef. But then you got, of course, quarterback, running back, and the entire wide receiver room does not need to be touched in the slightest. So Caleb Downs is the pick for sure. Miami is probably still going to go with corner because originally I did not have Kansas City taking a corner, and I had Mansour Delane going to Miami. I still think Miami goes with corner with Jermod McCoy. Still a very, very good corner, right? Absolutely elite last season. Of course, he's missed some time, unfortunately, but he's still insane. Like, he's still really good. I think it's still a pretty obvious pick here. And then Dallas is going to go defense, so let's just offense. Edge rusher. That's actually kind of convenient that the best available defensive player is edge rusher. I mean, Dylan Thieneman's an absolute beast. Hakeem Messidor, beast. Peter Woods, beast. But edge rusher just a whole lot more valuable. I think every position except for like maybe defensive line, like interior defensive line, could be adjusted on the Dallas defense. Safety and who's the next best corner? Avion Terrell. That's actually what it says. It's suggested. If I'm not mistaken, Dallas picks at 20, so they could still land Avion Terrell. You know what? Yeah, let's go Keldrick Falk. You're going to double up on defense regardless. L.A. This is tricky. They're so good. The wide receiver room, like obviously Puka Nacua, I need a refresher because I don't remember if Davante Adams is staying in LA. Or did
Chicken.
What the fuck? I thought I unbinded everything. Okay, I just won't put a question mark, I guess.
Chicken.
And I can't spell. All right. They paid him a bonus this month. What the fuck? I did not hear about this. Hold up. Travis Bazzana hit a home run. Oh my god, Travis Bazzana hit a solo home run. It's 7-1. San Francisco's winning 7-1 in spring training. No, dude. We just lost like 20-5 last night. The Guardians did. So I did not see this in like anything. I mean, okay, yeah, Davante Adams, he's still good. It's not like he's washed. I think it's a bit weird that they're suggesting adding another receiver. You just got Trent McDuffie, so you're not going to go corner. You could go edge, but Akeem Mesidor is just... You've got good offensive linemen right here. They could definitely use offensive linemen. It's definitely a positional need. I think, like, the only thing on offense that could really be messed with this offensive line. They did not perform very well in the playoffs, so you could definitely go offensive line here. I don't think that's horrible. Wide receiver, I mean, yeah, you got Puka. Davante Adams is older, so bringing in a young guy is really not a bad idea. I mean, I'm not saying that the suggestion is bad, but like defensive line, edge, like the defense definitely struggled. Of course, you brought in Trent McDuffie, which is phenomenal. Well, you brought in Trent McDuffie while maintaining the 13th overall pick. Like, that GM should get GM of the year right now. But do you pick tight end instead of wide receiver? Could that bring more value to you instead of having three receivers? Because you don't always have three receivers out there. You almost always have a tight end out there. So could you go tight end? Like we said, offensive line. They just brought in Trent McDuffie, so I think secondary is just probably not going to get messed with. I mean, bringing in a young guy with high upside like Dylan Thieneman is definitely not a bad idea, but there's just so many options for the Rams. Like, the team is genuinely good that, like, almost every position doesn't need to be filled, but, like, it could be, you know? Like, it could use a slight improvement. I really don't know what the hell to go here with. Like, do you just add a wide receiver just so that Matthew Stafford can throw 50 touchdowns next season and actually get 5,000 yards? 2 MVPs in a row would be fucking ridiculous. Or do you beef up the defense? I mean, Carolina put on 30-plus points on you. Where would they go? Would they go Peter Woods? I don't think that you would reach that far at the 13th pick with all of this value right here. This is so tough. I don't know. Oh my god. Okay, we've established that Spencer Fano and Monroe Feeling are left tackles. If I remember correctly, the Rams don't really have a blindside blocker, a really good blindside block. Considering, I mean, I know DJ Humphries, but considering I don't really know many of these names on this entire offensive line is definitely raising some red flags for me. Kobe Turner, Poona Ford, Jared Verse, man. That team is the team is just so well coached. Like, you don't see those names popping up in, like, all pros or anything like that. But the team is just it's coached very well. It's just a well-oiled machine. Honestly, you should probably go with offensive tackle here. That would make the offense even more efficient. You got Trent McDuffie, so, like, I feel like that justifies picking offense in this sense, even though the offense was so electrifying. Honestly, yeah, I'm gonna go Spencer Fano at left tackle. Get Stafford some more protection because he really doesn't really have much, and even that even like improves the run a little bit. I know he's playing a tackle position, but Baltimore got Trey Hendrickson. So we're gonna pick Akeem Esther. No, I'm just kidding. I think it's pretty obvious that receiver or offensive line should be the pick here. Of course, you have Lamar, who is he's the best improvising quarterback in the entire NFL. I mean, like Josh Allen's really good, but Lamar is just so agile, right? Like it's almost like it doesn't even matter what pressure is coming at him; he's gonna escape it. He needs receiver. He needs somebody who's gonna get open. He needs somebody who's gonna catch the ball, and it's suggesting interior offensive lineman, which wouldn't be horrible. Obviously, interior offensive linemen are really good in terms of you want strong guys in there so that the quarterback doesn't get pressured instantly. I feel like if you have really bad interior offensive linemen, you're going to get pressured more and quicker from the interior than you are from the edge. Lamar's not a guy who typically drops back insanely far. So the pressure from the interior, and I understand that's the reason that this is a suggestion here. But like I just said, it really doesn't even matter what pressure's coming towards him. He's probably gonna escape it. So I don't even think like the Raiders were gonna have this pick. Like the Raiders were gonna have this pick, and I would have picked Mekhi Lemon. But now we're here and the Ravens have it, and honestly, I'm still gonna go Mekhi Lemon. Tampa Bay is in a pretty tricky spot. They just let Tampa Bay go. Or let's rethink that. They just let Mike Evans go. But they need defense. Like they need edge. Akeem Esther is available. Jordan Tyson is also available. That's a tough pick because I mean, your quarterback needs someone to throw to. They'd re-sign K. Dotton. They have Chris Godwin. They have Emeka Egbuka. Bucky Irving is really great. They could use offensive line. I don't really know much about the Buccaneers. I really only just care that Baker Mayfield is playing well. Like, I really just don't know much about the Buccaneers. I mean, I do know, of course, they need defense. Like, Vita Vea, Antoine Winfield, absolute studs, right? But you need more than that. Like, the rest of the defense is just not good. And it was very evident every game that I watched that the defense was selling. So, maybe getting an edge rusher like Akeem Esther is not a bad idea. They don't have virtually any pass rush. And, of course, that then affects the secondary with everything. And the secondary is just not really that strong. With Antoine Winfield, with him, Antoine Winfield, you're just not going to go Dylan Thieneman. So, yeah, next best guy is Akeem Esther. And, I mean, I'll just follow the suggestions all the way home, man. Like, this is not bad. I think Jordan Tyson wouldn't be a horrible pick, but he's got some injuries that have affected his career. I think that he's a pretty tricky pick to go with. Akeem Esther was a standout, really good standout, but I feel like he kind of just stood out because Ruben Bain was taking all of the pressure away from him, taking all of the, like Ruben Bain was excelling so much that they were double teaming over there, and that opened up holes for Esther. This is a tough pick. If you didn't lose Mike Evans, this would be a lot easier. I would go with Akeem Esther, but you did. Because he's just not as polished as other guys. And going into Tampa, do we think that he's even going to get better? I mean, I'm trying to be honest here. Like, do we even think he's going to develop in Tampa Bay? This one is going to, like, the pick is in, like the pick is gonna get in like probably at the last second, and it's gonna be, you know what? I'm actually gonna do a prediction. The pick is gonna go in at like the last second, not like obviously the very last second, but it's gonna go in very late, and it's gonna be them like, what do we go with? I am gonna go to Akeem Messidor. I know that he's not as polished. You need an edge threat, brother. You need an edge threat bad on that team, more than you need receiver, because Emeka Egbuka is really good and Chris Godwin. You picked Emeka Egbuka really high last season. I don't think that you're going to do that 2 years in a row. So I'm going to go Akeem Messidor. New York is here, and we went defense with the second overall pick. Do they pile it on? Jordan Tyson being available is big. But is Kenyon Sadiq a better option because he's not as injury prone? Getting interior offensive line could do that as well. Beef up the run game. Protect the QB. This is so annoying. We are nearly an hour into this, and we're at the 16th overall pick. Okay. We're supposed to be doing a 3-round mock draft, and I'm mainly supposed to be doing it for the Cleveland Browns. So let me go to work really fast. Okay, I am going to go in the zone, and I'm just going to rattle off a shitload of picks. All right? New York Jets. Garrett Wilson. No tight end. No quarterback. Pretty good protection. Good running back. It's replacing Quinnen Williams. Yeah, you got to think about that. But you also got to think, what would New York do? Kenyon Sadiq, baby. That's how you do it, baby. And yeah, I mean, Monroe Freeling being available here for Detroit is definitely a pick. I've seen Dylan Thieneman go to Minnesota in a lot of mock drafts, and honestly, that's not a bad idea. Pair him with Harrison Smith, very good vet. Very good option to help him develop into a really good safety. Could go interior offensive line. It's not a bad idea. Wide receiver is just not important. Running back, you're definitely not going running back here. Don't think it's not bad. He's really good. Get a white boy, dude. A white boy safety to the Vikings. Oh my God, I didn't even think about that. Let's go. Defensive line. You got Derek Brown in there. Bring in another wide receiver. See, if Kenyon Sadiq was available, I would have gone with him. Double wide receiver. Not exactly super strong in the offensive line category. The defense. You did put 30 on the Rams in the playoffs. And the offense improved a lot. What's going to be the game changer for them? Is it going to be defense? Is it going to be interior offensive line? Protect Bryce Young? Give Bryce Young a second weapon? They have no running back. You know what, bro? You know what? Jordan Tyson is available, bruh. Jordan Tyson, Ted McMillan, Bryce Young. Let's go, baby. Let's go. We're rattling off picks here. Okay, we're just going to double. Oh, he is available. This is exactly what we were talking about. Pittsburgh. I hate Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, we're going to pick Pittsburgh. We're going to Monte Capehart for Pittsburgh. Wide receiver. You got DK. You got... What is wrong with me? Because why am I not able to name another wide receiver from the Steelers? I'm stupid. Oh my God. It's right on the tip of my tongue. I'm going to feel like an idiot. I'm going to feel like such an idiot. Michael Pitt. He's an Indianapolis Colt, and he just got traded. This is... Yeah, no, they're not going to pick wide receiver, bro. Why are we suggesting wide receiver? Interior offensive lineman, protect the quarterback. Defensive line. offensive line even to protect the quarterback. I think the protecting Aaron Rodgers, the interior is probably going to be a little bit more important. Because I just don't care for the Steelers. Anytime I think about the Steelers, I just am like, nope, don't want to think about the Steelers. And so I literally just don't know anything about the Steelers. I know that the offensive line wasn't absolutely horrible. But it could definitely use a little bit of depth. I think the defense is not, with Jalen Ramsey being brought in and, TJ Watt is still there. Cam Hayward even is still here, which is crazy to say. I just don't think the defense necessarily needs. So, Peter Woods, CJ Allen. CJ Allen would actually not even be a bad pick. He is a immensely talented linebacker. Bringing in interior defensive line with Cam Hayward, relieving a little bit of pressure from TJ Watt, but then you got to think offense. I don't really think that's where they're gonna go. They just signed Michael Pittman or traded for Michael Pittman, right? Signed. I think it was signed. I'm an idiot. Don't listen to me. Yeah, I think defense probably could be the way to go here. Their defense played so well, though. I just don't think that was the reason that they were bad. I think the reason that they're bad is because they have a washed Aaron Rodgers, but they're not going to pick a running back. They're not going to pick a receiver after signing Michael Pittman. I think a guy like Peter Woods would be a good pick here. We were supposed to be rattling these off. Okay, we're rattling them off now. We're rattling them off. Boom, boom. Caleb Lomu, available. Perfect. Go with him. Defensive line, yeah, that's definitely the pick here. But maybe safety. Definitely don't need receiver. Well, maybe you do need receiver after losing DJ Moore. But you definitely need a little bit more. It says that he's a suggestion. I don't think that's a bad suggestion. We like Caleb Banks. Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, though. Not much pass rush going on in Chicago. If there was a better... TJ Parker is available. He could be a little bit of a reach, though. CJ Allen is just not needed for Chicago. The secondary is good, so I guess Emmanuel McNeil-Warren is not. The safety position definitely could be better, and it could use some depth. The secondary could use some depth. I just don't think that was the main problem. So the suggestion, like I said, we'll ride the suggestion all day. Same here. I'm just gonna boom. It says that they're not suggested to pick wide receiver. Am I missing something? Did the 49ers sign a wide receiver that I just did not hear about? Mike Evans. Oh, my God. Yeah, we were just talking about how he switched teams. Oh, my gosh. Getting an offensive tackle to protect Brock Purdy is definitely not bad. Like I said, ride the suggestion all the way. Bringing in a wide receiver anyway would not be a horrible idea. Because, adding that depth. Mike Evans, of course, dealt with injuries recently, is on the older side. You have Jawan Jennings and Ricky Pearsall, who could definitely develop into really good guys. And there is definitely, Fred Warner makes C.J. Allen picking C.J. Allen just completely stupid and irrelevant. Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, not a bad idea whatsoever. T.J. Parker off the edge is not a bad idea. The defense definitely really needs some beefing up. Maybe I will go T.J. Parker. Am I missing something on... Am I missing something on the 49ers? Because I could have swore that I could have sworn Nick Bosa was not on the 49ers. Or am I thinking of Joey Bosa? Am I thinking of Joey Bosa that is on the Bills? Am I thinking? Oh my God, I am. It's definitely Joey Bosa on the Bills. Yeah, current team Buffalo Bills. Okay, so I'm an idiot. I thought that it was Nick Bosa who was on the Bills, so that picking edge is actually not a bad idea. Which, by the way, edge is still not really that bad of an idea. Offensive tackle, opposite of Trent Williams, is not a bad idea. We're still not even through the first round. This is genuinely bad. I'm not gonna lie, this is genuinely bad. We need to get a fucking move on here. I hope you guys can hear that, by the way. We're supposed to be rattling off these picks. Offensive tackle. Okay, what are the options here? Safety, not bad. Wide receiver depth, edge depth, offensive tackle, opposite of Trent Williams. That is a suggested pick. However, I think it's a stupid pick. I'm bringing in edge depth, baby. Let's go! I'm bringing in edge depth. They just traded Tyus Howard. We're supposed to be rattling picks off, so let's get it going. Wide receiver, not even thinking twice. Corner. Trading Jalen Waddle. That's what I was thinking of. I don't know why. I was like, why is it suggested that they take wide receiver? They traded Jalen Waddle. Trading Jalen Waddle, they could very well go with Mekhi Lemon at 11 now, and I didn't even think of that. I actually feel so bad. I didn't even think of that. Corner is definitely more important to them, especially considering I do believe Tyreek Hill is going to come back. Isn't he going to come back? Tyreek Hill expected. I do believe he's going to come back this season, right? Week 1 of 2026 NFL season. Yeah. So it's not as much of a need as corner is. But even so, you have the 30th overall pick. You could still get a guy like Kevin Concepcion. Very good. Very good. I mean, he's not Jalen Waddle. Do we think that he could be better than Jalen Waddle? I don't even know if he could be better than Jalen Waddle. Chris Brazell looked really good on the combine. Zachariah Brancher looked really good on the combine. I think trading Jalen Waddle makes you take Kevin Concepcion here. I am going to go with him. Edge or safety? Edge. And then could go corner, but honestly, like, the defense, I don't really even understand that, because if you're going to go with secondary in Seattle, you're definitely going Emmanuel McNeil-Warren at the tail end of the first round. But then you think, why are we going defense? I'm definitely going Emmanuel McNeil-Warren. I'm not even really going to think twice about it. We went offense. We got graded a B+ for that pick. Fuck you, motherfucker. B+ for Kenyon Sadiq. I just wanted to think, like, the Jets are probably going to take him. It's the Jets. But here, they have an option to go D-line. And we were thinking of taking, who was it? Peter Woods? I think it was Peter Woods. Peter Woods, because we were thinking of the replacement for Quinnen Williams after the trade. But here we got Caden McDonald, and apparently wide receiver is suggested. We just took tight end, so I don't think that's, especially Kenyon Sadiq being such a good vertical threat at tight end. I don't think that wide receiver is the pick here. And Caden McDonald is so good. he's one of the more underrated guys in this draft class. And I did say that I was going to start rattling off picks, so let's get her going, okay? Arizona, like we said, was one of those teams that needed everything. We're going to go C.J. Allen here. Ruben Bain, of course. Colin Hood, oh my God. It's actually really good. It's actually really good. Before I even move on, I want to see what they grade that. They grade that an A. Okay, that's sweet. I just wanted to switch it back. Max Crosby is back. Of course, they have Ashton Jeanty. Yeah, Brandon Cease is here. Max, I'm not even going to attempt to say that last name. Zion Young, Ty Simpson's obviously. Imagine Fernando Mendoza and Ty Simpson being your first 2 picks in the draft. That's such a Raiders thing to do, though, if I'm being completely honest with you. We're out of the first round now, which I'm just now realizing, and we have 2 more rounds to go. No. Let me remember. It's something Miller, right? It's something Miller. I think it's Colin Miller. Quiddy. Oh my gosh, I forgot about those. Quiddy Payne, Quay Walker. And Nakobe. Oh my gosh. Taron Johnson, Eric Stokes, Nakobe Dean. Colton Miller. Let's go. Oh my gosh. I feel so good about that one. So, they did such a bang-up job of beefing up that defense. I feel like even with Colton Miller, it's still, I think Max is still a really good pick here. I think with the amount of things that you did in free agency to beef up the defense, I feel like the draft is just going to be all offense, especially to help out Fernando Mendoza. Even if Max isn't going to be an instant starter, he's very good depth. Typically, you're not going to pick depth at, your second round pick, especially with as early of a second round pick as it is. And here we go. We got the Giants. We chose Sonny Styles, skipping out on wide receiver, and that's actually going to be the first suggestion. And I don't even think I want to argue with it. Ty Simpson, no. Zion Young, no. Brandon Cease definitely could be. I think Brandon Cease is probably the best player available here. Interior offensive line definitely could be here. Defensive line, probably not. Chris Johnson. Wow. He is an amazing corner. Brandon Cease is really good, but Chris Johnson is an amazing corner. Jacob Rodriguez is here. Jace Basantis. Anthony Hill. We went with Sonny Styles, so obviously Anthony Hill is not going to be the pick here. We did say that the secondary was absolute garbage, and Brandon Cease is available. We did say they needed a little bit of offensive line help, and Emmanuel Pregnon is available. We need to keep going. I'm going Brandon Cease. Yeah, I was thinking the same exact thing. I didn't think that this was going to be a suggestion for Houston. I thought that they were going to go like Emmanuel Pregnon and Chase Basantes here as a suggestion. But yeah, I was like, they need interior defensive line. Obviously, the edge is absolutely amazing, right? Secondary, absolutely amazing. But I was absolutely thinking that interior offensive line was going to be the suggestion, but the interior. Travis Bazana hit a fucking grand slam. Are you shitting me? Oh my God. No way. He hit a solo homer and a grand slam. Please tell me that's already on Instagram. No, please. I have to find it. I have to see it. Not here. Guardians. Yep. Fuck. And I can't watch the game. I'm literally just going to have to wait for that highlight to come out. I'm literally just going to have to wait for... I mean, it might be in the MLB app already. Anyway, because I can't find it, I'm going to get back to the draft. That's crazy. We were talking about how he solo home run, and now he hit a grand slam. Oh, they already have the solo home run posted. Let's see how this... An ad? An ad on a 30-second highlight? What the hell are we doing? Okay, back to Houston. I think interior offensive line is the pick. I think... Oh my god, no! What the frick? That's a good swing. Dude, that had some speed behind it. The fact that that got over the fence is crazy. Line drive, yeah.
This yard, that's for sure. Very reachable out there, considering the ball carries well anyway.
Damn. Boom, 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 boom. No, we're gonna forget about it. Rattle them off. What the fuck? Okay. Let me tell you guys something. Chris Johnson is the pick here. Chris Johnson's the pick because he is so good. He is so good. We went with Caleb Lomu. So we got the offensive tackle. They beefed up offensive line and free agency. Drafting Carnell Tate. Now we gotta go. We can definitely look at offensive line. Like, I mean, Chase Besantis. Of course, we saw Gennings Dunker at offensive tackle. Not bad picks at all. Okay, not bad picks at all. Chris Johnson is so good. He is the most underrated player in this draft class. Pairing him with Tyson Campbell and Denzel Ward being that like mentor figure, he's gonna be. I'm gonna call this right now. He's gonna be elite. Like, he's gonna be so good. Chris Johnson, please and thank you. Oh my God, Aiden, March Madness is happening and you didn't even know about it. Okay. We are now... We're in uncharted territory here. And the reason for that... They do need edge. Whew, okay. Boom. Cincinnati. Went with Caleb Downs. Could use edge. But we just took Jacob Rodriguez. Anthony Hill is here. Two very good guys. Christian Miller, Lee Hunter. D-line, after, of course, losing Trey Hendrickson, is definitely big. Excuse me. Who do we pick? Let's go Jacob Rodriguez. New Orleans. I'm going to go Chris Brazell. Miami is going to go Chase Besanti. This is definitely where Ty Simpson goes, right? Third, fourth pick. Oh my God. Dude, the Jets are going to have one of the best draft classes. Arvell Reese, Kenyon Steed, Kaden McDonald, Ty Simpson. I mean, they definitely go Ty Simpson here, right? You're at the 44th pick. And Ty Simpson is available. You got Ty Simpson, Garrett Nussmeier, Carson Beck, Drew Allard. Yeah, we're going to go Ty Simpson. Like, come on. Of course, we went Mekhi Lemon for Baltimore. And they are likely going to suggest, I was going to say offensive lineman, some sort of offensive lineman. He's just not the pick, dude. I'm going to be honest. He's just not the pick. Lee Hunter is available. Kristen Miller is available. Anthony Hill Jr. is available. Both guys that are insanely talented could definitely be day one starters, depending on the position they're going into. I think Anthony Hill would not be a day one starter. I think maybe Lee Hunter and Kristen Miller would be a day one starter. We're getting to the point in the draft where I feel like just taking the best guy available is the option. It says Connor Lewis, the suggestion, but you're reaching 22 picks ahead. You have the 80th overall pick, but I don't really think that he's going to be available at 80 overall. You know what I'm going to do? I am going to go with Lee Hunter. And then we're getting to Tampa, which is definitely going to be Anthony Hill Jr. Right? It's definitely going to be Anthony Hill Jr. Now we're at Indianapolis, where Jake Golday, not a bad pick whatsoever. Jadarian Prince, not a bad pick to add depth behind Jonathan Taylor. Edge help, defensive line help. Atlanta, I have no idea. Minnesota we already picked. Detroit we already picked. Carolina we already picked. Green Bay's first pick is 52nd overall. I am going to auto draft all the way to the Cleveland Browns pick. And the reason I'm going to do this is because genuinely after Mason Thomas and Kristen Miller, my knowledge on most of these guys, tanks. D'Angelo Pons, I know a lot about D'Angelo Pons, obviously. Gabe Jacobs, so good. Gennings Dunker. Outside of the wide receivers, of course, with Zachariah Branch, Malachi Fields, Keontae Scott is good. Mike Washington. Elijah Surratt, I thought he was going to stay in Indiana. Didn't he say he was going to stay in Indiana? Or what? No, he was a senior, wasn't he? I can't. Oh my God, I literally can't type. He declared for the draft. I'm an idiot. Is there a reason that Elijah Surratt is ranked 69th and Omar Cooper is ranked 31st? Because Elijah Surratt is either just as good as Omar Cooper or better. I think it was the injury. I think it's the injuries that really screwed up his draft stock. Oh my God. Defensive line is definitely, let's just go suggestion, and I'm just going to let it rip. I'm not even going to think about it. I'm not going to worry about it. We're going to wait until Cleveland because wow. Gennings Dunker still available? What the fuck? Why is Gennings Dunker still available? Hold on. Pause the game. Why is Gennings Dunker still available? Hold on. Okay, let's think about this. We went Chris Johnson, so Keith Abney and Keontae Scott. Likely not the pick. We went Carnell Tate, but Jeremy Bernard is available. Quinshon Judkins is going to be injured, but I still don't think that Mike Washington should be a pick in the draft. Kamari Ramsey is available. Who else is available? Skylar Bell? Jalen Kilgore is a bit of a reach. It is our last pick, though. No. It's our last pick in 3 rounds. It's not our last pick, overall. I am gonna pick. Oh my God. This is so tough. Wide receiver. Honestly, wide receiver could still get drafted here. We went offensive tackle, and then we went corner. So you could even still pick offensive tackle. I can't believe Gennings Dunker is available. Is this even realistic? We've gone off the charts here, I think. I am going to pick Gennings Dunker because he's available. I did not think that he was going to be. Other guys that the Browns could potentially go with is Kamari Ramsey or Skylar Bell, but I even saw. Am I tripping out right now? Was I thinking of Jeremy Bernard? I was thinking of Jeremy Bernard. Who picked Elijah Surratt? The Rams? You can't let Elijah Surratt go to the Rams. You can't let Elijah Surratt go to the Rams, bro. Dude, if I'm... Hold on. Who picked before him? Chicago. They went with a safety. They could have gone Elijah Surratt. What the fuck are they doing? This is what I'm talking about, bro. This is what I'm talking about. The sim. Oh, my gosh. Well, I'm going to go Gennings Dunker because he's available. And then I'm going to auto draft Washington. They went edge. Screw it. Bring in another receiver. I don't care. Now we're just going to sim the rest of it. And the reason I'm going to sim the rest of it is because after this is done, I am going to go into another draft, and I am going to sim, and we're just going to do Cleveland. Like, that's all we're going to do. We're just going to do Cleveland. And I want to see what the sim does to that is not a bad draft whatsoever. That is actually kind of insane if you ask me. Obviously, Cardinal Tate, Caleb Lomo, Chris Johnson, really good. Gennings Dunker. Getting him at 70 would actually be insane. We're going to restart here. We're going to select Cleveland. We're going to select 7 rounds. Enter the draft. Start. Sonny Styles. Am I seeing that correctly? Am I seeing that correctly? You know what? I actually want to show you guys this because this is exactly what I'm fucking talking about. In no world is Sonny Styles going to get picked over Arvell Reese. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? And of course, like I was saying earlier, for some reason people think David Bailey's better than Ruben Bain. He's not, and now he's available at the Cleveland pick. That's insane. I'm still going to go Cardinal Tate because I'm going to Jordan Tyson, Jeremiah Love. Oh my God. Mansour Delane still goes to Miami. Monroe Freeling. Blake Miller over Caden Proctor and Caleb Lomu. Omar Cooper at 21. You still end up somehow getting Keldrick Falk at 20. Who did they pick at 12? Jermon McCoy. That's right, because in the draft that I just did, I had the Saints picking Jeremiah Love, the Chiefs going Mansour Delane, and then Miami going Jermon McCoy. So if the Saints just don't pick Jeremiah Love, that changes like 5 teams' picks. And the Rams pick Mekhi Lemon. Detroit takes Spencer Fano. That's such good value. And now we're here, and Caden Proctor is available over Caleb Lomu. I'm going to pick Caleb Lomu purely because that's what I picked in the last draft. If Caden Proctor is somehow available, he's probably going to be picked by Cleveland. And this is where the Chris Johnson pick happened, right? You guys are seeing Colton Hood available, right? Avion Terrell is picked 29. I think in my mock draft I had him going to Dallas at 20. Dude, just the Jeremiah Love, wherever the hell he gets drafted, it's gonna change the entirety of the draft. Brandon Cease, Gabe Jacobs. I don't even think that I picked him in 50 picks, and he goes 33 here. Zion Young at 34. Who's the best edge rusher available? TJ Parker and Cassius House still available after Zion Young. Tennessee goes Jadarian Prince at 35. German Bernard goes 36. At 39, I picked Chris Johnson. Do I still go Chris Johnson? I am. Like I said, because that's what I picked last time, I'm going to go Chris Johnson. There's just no freaking way that these players are going to be available. Like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Pause. Who took Ty Simpson? Detroit at 50th overall because New York took D'Angelo Pons. All right. Oh, whoa. I just saw Surratt. I just saw Elijah Surratt. Go to San Francisco this time. Okay. So outside of the 70th overall pick, we have all of these insane late round picks. And this is exactly why I wanted to do this, because we did 4 picks. We have 6 remaining picks after those 4 picks. So at 70, I went Gennings Dunker. He's not available. Thank you. He's not available. He should not be available. Who do we go with? We went the way that we went last. Of course, if I picked Colton Hood, that would have given me an A instead of a B, but I just went Chris Johnson because that is what happened last draft. We ended up going Gennings Dunker, who's an offensive tackle. Offensive tackle is absolutely not the pick here. Chris Bell is available. Not a bad pick. AJ Halsey, not a bad pick. Zachariah Branch. We drafted corner already. Edge. It's not a bad idea. I just don't think that it's good value here, especially if AJ Halsey is available. So good. David Igbinosun, like we said, we already went corner. So he's ranked 81st, and we have the 107th pick. You'd have to get really lucky. Genuinely, AJ Halsey is absolutely the pick here. I actually really love this pick because Ronnie Hickman, I genuinely think that he's reached his ceiling in terms of skill. I don't think he's going to get any better than he already is. And Grant Delpit is really good. But we need like an over-the-top coverage safety. I think Grant Delpit can do that, but when he's relied on to do that, it's not good. AJ Halsey can do that, and that's exactly where I'm going to go. Yep, we got a lot of guys going that we would want to pick. We're just hoping maybe Skylar Bell and David Igbinosun are not gone. Oh my God, no, we're so close. Oh my God. Okay, hold on. Okay, this is where we were. Okay, AJ Halsey. Chris Bell, Zachariah Branch, Malachi Fields, North Dakota State wide receiver. I don't even know that guy's name. Baylor wide receiver. David Igbinosun goes 100th overall. Cade Klubnik to the Jets. Not bad at all. And now we have Skylar Bell available at 107th overall. Yeah, I'm going to pick Skylar Bell, bruh. What are you talking about? Yeah, if we didn't pick AJ Halsey, I probably would have gone Jalen Kilgore right there. But a pick is a pick, ladies and gentlemen. 141st overall, we're going to go Carson Beck. I'm going to pick Carson Beck. All right, we're going Carson Beck. He's going to be the starting quarterback. Obviously, I'm fucking joking. We're absolutely not going Carson Beck. Nick Singleton is here. He's ranked 119th. Kalen Black at 184. That's very surprising, actually. At this pick, like, honestly, once we get past 70, it's really like we're going to go into getting a lot of depth. Isaiah World, wasn't he, like, really high ranked at the, like, middle of the season? Like, wasn't he one of the better tackle options? What happened? Matter of fact, that's exactly what I'm going to put into the search bar. What happened to Isaiah World? Suffered a torn ACL in his left knee during the first half of the college football semifinals, lost to Indiana. That is what happened. Wow. Oh my God. Whoever gets him, I think, is going to be pretty lucky. I think whoever gets him is going to be lucky. Obviously, he's injured. He could very well go undrafted. Like, I'm not even kidding. Having an ACL injury that close to the draft is horrible. And he's here on the board, so I don't think that he can return to college. So what is a realistic pick for Cleveland? Of course, we went with our original 3 picks. We switched it up after Gettings Dunker wasn't available with AJ Halsey, which is a really good pick. Skylar Bell was available at 107. That's the obvious pick for us. So who is the best pick at 141st overall? Is it Singleton? Of course, Quinshon Judkins is injured. Dylan Sampson is likely to be the starter. Behind him, I actually don't even think anyone's behind him right now. Did we bring someone up from the practice squad that I don't know about? How the hell would I not know about this? Oh, Sanders, right? Yeah, Raheem Sanders. And then we have Amani Marshall, Trayvon Williams. Yeah. Okay, I actually do remember Raheem Sanders. Yeah, at that point, I don't think that taking running back is very... Tight end depth, Justin Jolly. Justin Jolly's not a bad pick. Getting that offensive tackle depth would definitely not be bad. We have Brian Parker, Austin Barber, and obviously Isaiah World, who is really good. He's just the ACL injury's bad. I am gonna go with tight end depth. Justin Jolly is a pretty good prospect. Obviously, he's not a starter. Oh, and I didn't even realize that we have literally like 3 freaking picks back to back. We are gonna go we took tight end. We now have corner or quarterback or linebacker. Harold Perkins. I feel like I remember him also being somebody who was ranked pretty high. Suffered a season-ending torn ACL in his right knee during the 4th game of the 2024 season against UCLA. 2024? This was 2 months ago. This is interesting. This is interesting. This is stuff I did not know about Harold Perkins. Huh. Well, it seems like he has a lot of versatility, but it seems like maybe the character. I mean, you can't really like trust Reddit that much when it comes to stuff like this. So technically, 2 seasons ago, he had an ACL injury, and when did he come back? When did Harold Perk? What am I even talking about? Let's just go stats. Because I just want to see if he even played. How many snaps did he play? He did play in 2025. 4 sacks, 3 interceptions. So this was what the one guy was talking about. 3 passes defended. Or, passes batted down. So he's healthy. Recent games, thank you. Yeah,
Bring on the spring at the Honda Spring Event. Honda vehicles are built for exploring, with available features like all-terrain tires.
I think I can hear that through my headset from right here. My headset is sitting on my desk, and I can still hear that. So he's healthy. Wait, why does it say that? Oh, wait, I'm stupid. Because like I was saying, you're adding depth at a position. So linebacker is pretty much just Carson Schlesinger. Oh wait, God damn it! It's another one of those things that I am brain farting on, but I know happened recently. That we signed Quincy Williams. That is correct, Quincy Williams. I still like him as a prospect, and guess what? We're gonna have another pick right here, and another guy, Isaiah World. I like as a prospect. I don't even really want to think about these. If I'm gonna be completely honest with you, if we can get guys like that, then I am not complaining in the slightest. I'm an idiot. Markel Bell is available. I am an idiot, bro. I thought he got picked. I thought that he got picked. I'm so dumb. I would have picked him over Isaiah World. Oh my god. Can I go back? Can I go back and pick him? No way Aiden Fisher's available after I picked Harold Perkins, bro. Are you fucking serious right now? There's no way that Aiden Fisher's available after I picked Harold Perkins, bro. Harold Perkins said that he was an edge rusher that got moved around. So I guess technically we can count him as an edge and not a linebacker. We got Will Kasmarak. I'm so mad. I'm literally so mad that I want Kalen Black. I'm not gonna lie. I want Kalen Black. We're going Kalen Black. Let's go, dude. And we have one more pick, which obviously, yeah, Aiden Fisher's not gonna be at. Who'd he get picked up by? Markel Bell got picked up by Baltimore. No. He got picked the very next pick. Okay, well, I guess I should have picked him. I mean, we needed the running back. We needed the depth. I'm going to be right back, and I'm going to go turn on the AC. The AC, because why the fuck is it so hot in here? here we are. The last pick in the draft. Luke Altmaier. Luke Altmaier. Oh my gosh. Diego Pavia. Oh my gosh. Obviously, all of these are just not. Haynes King is in this draft. Joe Aguilar is in. These guys are in the draft. What? I can't believe that he's ranked 262nd. I low-key hope that he gets picked. Yeah, just bringing the depth, bringing even more depth to the offensive line is probably not a bad idea. That Isaiah World pick should be Markel Bell. I'm so stupid. I didn't even think about that. But yeah, we're just gonna go with Yager or Jaeger. I don't know. Tell me he's the. Oh, he didn't get picked. That's okay though. Yeah, I think that Harold Perkins is definitely not a bad option considering the just the versatility and the talent. Like we said, that he was an edge rusher, so I didn't really have that much hesitation to pick him. He sounded really good, and of course LSU. LSU players are not bad players whatsoever. Justin Jolly, just to bring in that tight end depth, we actually got an A for that. That's actually pretty interesting. And yeah, the Isaiah World pick should have been Markel Bell. I just wasn't thinking about him, and then I saw him, and I was just like, ugh. Picture Markel Bell right here. Kalen Black, we got an A for that. It's actually pretty interesting. Just the running back depth, right? Like, Quinshon Judkins being out, like taking a running back this late in the draft, really not a bad idea. I mean, you might as well just go there, right? And then, yeah, the best available interior offensive lineman, Yager Burton. This is not bad whatsoever. The fact that Colton Hood was available, the fact that Caden Proctor was available, I guess you could put those guys right here, but at the same time, not bad. So yeah, I mean, that's the mock draft right there. I know we were taking way too long on most of the picks. And so we started simming, and we ended with Carnell Tate, Caleb Lumu, Chris Johnson, and then Gennings Dunker at the 70th overall pick. And then we switched over to here where we just simmed everything, and we ended up with A.J. Halsey at 70 instead, and then Skylar Bell, Justin Jolly, Harold Perkins, Isaiah World, which should have been Markel Bell, and then Kalen Black and Yager Burton. Not a bad draft. Once we get to the draft, I'm, Cleveland, of course, I am going to make videos on the moves that Cleveland does going up to the draft. But once we get to the draft, I think I actually kind of want to do like a watch party almost. So stay tuned for that. I know that this was a bit of like a hectic. It wasn't like a full 3-round draft per se. I just didn't want to take it too long. I didn't want this to be like, 3-4 hour affair. And then, of course, we went into this draft right here where we went over every single Browns pick. Late in the draft, and by late in the draft, I mean past the 70th overall pick, I think we're really just looking at depth. Skylar Bell being available at 107 would be absolutely phenomenal for Cleveland, of course, because you're going to draft Carnell Tate. Skylar Bell would be a great young piece to bring in. He's got some talent. He needs to be polished up a little bit out of UConn. But he's definitely not a bad pick whatsoever. I think that it said that he was the 82nd rated player in the draft, and we got him at 107. That's literally insane. Of course, I understand that maybe he's not actually 82nd. Just this website says he's 82nd, but still not bad. And then, of course, adding the tight end depth, adding the linebacker/edge hybrid. Markel Bell is probably going to be in here somewhere. Realistically, I think Markel Bell is going to end up in Cleveland, which would just be insane. And then, of course, the Kalen Black pick was because of the running back depth due to Quinshon Judkins' injury. But even then, Kalen Black is still a really good running back who could thrive in Cleveland, genuinely. If there's a running back like a Raheem Sanders, that could come in and compete for the third, maybe even the second string, I think it's Kalen Black, and I don't think that's a bad pick. And then just going into your offensive line because he was the best player available. That is going to be the stream. I am going to try to do updates, of course, like I said, about any moves leading up. I'll probably do them in short form, like shorts. And then, of course, I'm going to see if I can get a watch party for the draft, and we'll see how everything goes. But till then, take care, everybody. I hope you enjoy this. If you did, please consider subscribing for more sports content. I am still going to trickle in a little bit of gaming. Of course, I don't want the gaming to not be a part of this channel, but I do want to make the sports part the main part of this channel. That being said, I am going to end the stream. So everybody